Guys, I'm all about transparency, and today's video is going to be no bullshit. It's going to be straight into my freaking ad account because I found something which actually works tremendously well, and I wanted to just run it as a joke, but it turns out it's a new funnel which doesn't require you to be very active, rather be lazy like me myself. I'm a very lazy person, and I try to do things as efficiently as possible. That's probably the perk of being lazy, but along with the hundreds of other downsides like procrastination and shit. But anyways, I figured this funnel where I really like webinars. They bring me a shit ton of money, but running a fucking webinar is stressful, man. Running a fucking webinar is also like, you have to do planning and just make sure you don't fuck up the show up rate. If it's gone, then your ad spend is fucked, and you're just basically done. Yeah, you just get shacked from all over the place. But the webinar leads which come through the funnel, they're amazing. Like whenever we have like calls with them, or we have sales calls with them, if you're doing like a book call webinar, or even if you're doing like a normal webinar with selling on the spot, the type of client which come through the door is just so much more educated, because if they're educated enough to buy on the spot from us, and I feel like there's just a higher quality of clients somehow, right? Because there's a lot of people in the webinar, but at the same time, there's only a few percentage, like 5 to 10% who buy it. So that 5 to 10% is like kind of like the cream of the audience, right? But the point is that I wanted to do something where the webinar can be run, but I don't have to do the webinar. I don't have to make the fucking webinar. I don't have to do anything with the webinar, but I want the lead. Like the lead has to be the same quality. Like I want the same quality lead without running the webinar. So there's one point which is pre-recorded webinar, which I use at the end a little bit, but I didn't in the majority part of this case study, or whatever you want to call it, like this test, this joke, right? So let me go into my computer and show you the campaign. I call this the bait webinar. It's like a clickbait, which makes you think you're going to a webinar, but then you're not. So I ran this campaign, gone probably in December, I think, last year, 2024. Spent about 1,000 to test it. Fucking crazy cost per registration. So this is basically cost per lead for me, right? Usually our cost per lead is like $30, right? And we sell a subscription to people, which is like 1,200 per year at minimum. So this is pretty good, we can pay for this. And then the conversion rate, this is what I use to calculate the conversion rate. It should be a little bit higher. We got about 92 leads, so it should be around 20%. 20% of the people who saw the page converted. And then we have the rest of the metrics. And we also had some booking directly from people. We did give them an option to book directly as well. Well, ended up making a decent amount of profits on this ad spend. We probably closed like 10 to 20 clients, so that paid for everything else here. But we didn't do a webinar. Neither did we show them. Now this is the funnel. So, bro, I'm being fully fucking transparent. Like, I don't know if it's gonna come back to me in a bad way or a good way. Hopefully it comes up back to me in a good way. So have a look at my funnels, guys. Copy me, whatever you want to do. But they're very simple, man. Let's have a look over this funnel. Reveal the care management workflow, 500, this is whatever, headline to attract my niche. This is what works for my niche. It's a software. It's not Go High Level. It's a proper software made by a team of developers we work with. And yeah, it's a proper company, a startup, and all this shit. So, and then there's like a lot of testimonials, and it just asks you a few questions. Once you fill this out, that's where the magic happens, because they're expecting to register for the webinar. So it says check availability, 6 p.m. UK time. Hey, man, we're unfortunately, spots are full. You've been added to the wait list. Damn. There's no webinar because these guys seems to be popular. Like these guys are quite popular. They filled out their whole webinar thing. So instead, later, like this is afterwards. This is like recently uploaded. I'm gonna run a test again with this replay of our last webinar. So I did do a webinar in the past where people could, see the, we close them on the spot or we book calls with them. So I just put that again to pre-frame people. But even without this, it worked for us. Even without this, it worked massively for us. In fact, that we closed 10 to 20 clients in the last month around this offer. But there's a scheduler just at the bottom. So it usually says, but we have open few slots. Interested in our home care software, you have 5 minutes to book a call or some shit like that. And then there's some videos. So who's on care for, who your care system is bad, or do you even need this? And then there's like a shit ton of testimonials again. So pretty simple. Once you book a call, then you just go to the final page. Again, testimonial spam. You want to keep that in front of your face, man. So you know that we're legit. And we are legit because, hey, bro, we're backed by investors and shit. We need to keep our shit up top polished. So it's pretty simple. Add to calendar. Please accept and add the invite. Probably good to also mention that the video might be in your the email that we send you for the reminders might be in spam. So a lot of people who are new to space, they don't really recognize that, but that's a very important thing. I've seen that if I just put a picture there for people to see that, hey, make sure that you check your spam folder for our emails. It massively increases show up rates. But then at the same time, salespeople have a big contribution. But my point is that being lazy actually became profitable in some way and being creative. And just like this, I have a bunch of these type of funnels, which are going to be running, and a bunch of these type of funnels that I keep coming up with. In fact, there's another one. I'm using it as an inspiration from another YouTuber. Probably you've heard of them, Thomas Garnett, and he sells it like he sells something called ladder funnel. That's what I'm going to be testing next. But that funnel is a little bit hard, man, because like it requires a decent amount of work at first. This fucking funnel doesn't require any type of work. Like you can just get started. Like just make a simple landing page. It's going to take you like maybe 1 hour to make, maybe less. It's just uploading the testimonials, which take the most time. And then you just, put a scheduler, copy, duplicate, and this is basically a call funnel. But it brings a high quality lead. It brings leads which are interested. Because if the lead is interested to come on a webinar, learn from you, you can convert at least like 10% of those people. And just to make sure that I'm not bullshitting you, let's talk about like so there you go. So it has more than a 20% opt-in rate, not 90 to 82 opt-ins. So we got that. And then 15 book calls. Oh, so yeah, Facebook was as always reporting very trash. So 15 book calls. Out of this, we closed about 18 clients or something like that, and probably gonna close even more over the next few weeks and months to come. Because with our company, usually people don't buy upfront because they're like building real businesses, home care, healthcare shit. So it takes time to get up and afloat and then start using the platform. So we get a lot of free trials as well. Anyways, the next funnel I'm gonna be testing, I'm gonna show out as well here. This is literally inside out. There's nothing else to it, bro. There's not even a fucking email automation going out. Yeah, I'm that lazy right now. But I just wanted to give it a quick test. So hopefully you can test it out and let me know, because I want to hear if it works out not only for me but other people as well. I'm gonna continue doing it. I'm doing a test on the US right now. So this was just for the UK, and usually UK people are stingy as fuck, man. Even business owners, because obviously probably about the tax and everything. But anyways, in the US, we're gonna do this test and see how it goes. Spending a little bit more money. I don't know how it's going, but bait webinar, because our webinars always perform better in the US than in the UK. It just seems like the US people, the audience is just more willing to invest right on the spot without many questions. So that works out well. So hopefully this bait webinar gets us real good people. But at the same time, US people have a way higher no-show rate. So yeah, I think that is one downside maybe you can get from a webinar. But all in all, guys, I think I want to hear if anyone else want to test this clickbait type of shit and see if it works. And I'll see you soon. By the way, I was just in my this robe. I just wanted to make a quick video because of my big discoveries here. So ignore my unprofessionalism. Have a good night.